This morning, a key witness is taking the stand again in rapper ASAP Rocky's trial.
His superstar girlfriend Rihanna is also in court, sitting alongside his family.
I have some absolutely shocking news that's going to leave you speechless. You won't believe what's happening with Rihanna and her beautiful family right now. Let me tell you, this situation is turning into something straight out of a drama series. And my heart is absolutely breaking for Riri. Here's the devastating reality we're facing. Rihanna might end up raising those precious babies all by herself for the next 2 decades, because ASAP Rocky is caught up in some serious legal drama, and let me tell you, it's not looking good at all. He's sitting in that courtroom right now, and from what I'm hearing, that 24-year sentence is looking more and more likely by the minute. Now let me spill all the details about how we got here, because this story has more twists and turns than a roller coaster. First of all, ASAP Rocky had the chance, the chance to take a plea deal that would have been so much more manageable, just $180 days behind bars and 3 years of probation. But what did he do? Oh honey, he played everyone for fools, and decided to plead not guilty at the absolute last second. But wait, because it gets even more scandalous. The real tea is that this whole mess isn't just about some random altercation. No, it turns out there's a love triangle situation brewing underneath all of this drama. The man who was allegedly attacked, ASAP Relli, apparently had something going on with Rihanna. Yes, you heard that right. According to some very interesting sources, Rihanna was potentially interested in Relli, which obviously made ASAP Rocky jealous. And you know what happens when jealousy enters the picture? Things get messy real quick. Now, my heart absolutely breaks for Rihanna because she's taking this situation so hard. Sources are saying she's blaming herself for this whole ordeal, which is just devastating to hear. I mean, can you imagine carrying that kind of guilt? For those of you who've somehow been living under a rock and don't know what's going on, and honestly, where have you been? Let me catch you up on all this drama. ASAP Rocky is currently facing trial over an alleged incident involving a member of his crew who goes by the name Relli. Now this isn't just some random beef. This goes deep into loyalty and family ties. The whole thing started because Relli and others felt betrayed when ASAP supposedly turned his back on the crew after hitting it big. But what really pushed things over the edge was when one of their crew members passed away, and apparently ASAP wasn't there for the family like they expected him to be. Talk about emotional baggage. So in 2021, they decided to hash things out face to face, and that's when everything exploded. Relli claims ASAP shot at him twice. Get this, with one bullet actually grazing his knuckles. But here's where it gets interesting. ASAP is saying he only used a starter pistol that shoots blanks, and you know what? The police reports actually back up his story, because when they searched the crime scene they found absolutely nothing. No shell casings, no holes, nada. But hold on to your seats, because this is where things get really suspicious. 2 days after the police did their thorough search and came up empty-handed, Relli mysteriously shows up with shell casings that he claims he found at the scene. I mean, really, the same scene the police couldn't find anything at. Something's not adding up here, darling. The only solid evidence they have is some security footage showing ASAP and Relli getting into it physically. But here's the kicker, it never shows ASAP actually firing at Relli, and those shell casings Relli brought in, the forensics team hasn't even confirmed if they're from the same day as the incident. Talk about suspicious. ASAP's lawyer Joe Takapa didn't hold back in court. He straight up called out the lack of evidence, saying there were no holes, no blood, no shell casings, no physical evidence that a shooting happened at all, period. Now let me tell you about the drama that unfolded in court. Relli got emotional, crying about how ASAP would only see him once every 6 months. He even gave him a nickname, Mr. 6-Month Man. The tension in that courtroom was so thick you could cut it with a knife. When Relli said, "I physically could not believe there was a gun in my face," that was the breaking point for me. So here's where ASAP made what might be the biggest mistake of his life when they offered him that plea deal, just 180 days in jail and 3 years probation. He looked them straight in the eye and pleaded not guilty. Now he's facing up to 24 years if things don't go his way. Can you imagine 24 years? Those beautiful children might have to grow up without their daddy around. Speaking of Rihanna, let me tell you about her courtroom appearance. She didn't show up for the first hearing, but after ASAP's bold move with that not guilty plea, she was there, hot, dressed to the nines, sitting in that courtroom like the queen she is. And let's be real, having Rihanna in your corner might just sway that jury a little bit. I mean, who doesn't love Rihanna? The paparazzi caught her sneaking out through the back door, and my heart just broke seeing her so stressed. This wasn't our usual smiling, confident Rihanna. No, she looked worried, trying to avoid those cameras like her life depended on it. One witness said she was standing there anxiously, her eyes darting around, waiting for SEC to whisk her away. Another fan commented, "I'll forever be mad that she chose ASAP. Now he has her showing up to court to support her man. The disappointment is real." But wait, because this tea gets even hotter. Remember that beef between REI and ASAP? Well, apparently it wasn't just about crew loyalty, it was about Rihanna too. And you won't believe who spilled this particular cup of tea, none other than Aaliyah Banks herself, according to Aaliyah's version of events. And honey, you know, she always has something to say when ASAP and Rihanna first got together. He wanted to show her off to his crew in Harlem, but things didn't go quite as planned because apparently Rihanna and REI were vibing a little too well for ASAP's comfort. This allegedly led to that confrontation where things got physical and weapons came out, but Aaliyah didn't stop there. She went on to claim that ASAP isn't even really from Harlem and that he used REI to build up his street cred, and then she dropped an absolute bombshell about ASAP Yams, a deceased member of their crew. According to her, ASAP Rocky allegedly mistreated Yams so badly that it led him down a dark path of addiction. She even claimed that when Yams passed away, ASAP paid his mother $60,000 to keep quiet about what allegedly happened to her son. ASAP Renaka literally made Rocky. Rocky is not from Harlem like he says. So the
ASAP Relli and Naka literally made Rocky. Rocky is not from Harlem like he says. So the tea on this is Rocky corny ass had Rihanna in Harlem trying to show off and made the mistake of inviting really fine chocolate ass over, and of course Ray was all in his face flirting and shit. Rocky got jealous, invited him to meet up somewhere, pulled him in for a hug, and then really tried to kill him. And all because Rihanna was looking. Relli ain't looking for no payday. He's genuinely deeply hurt because he really believed in Rocky and considered him a friend. Rocky is responsible for ASAP Yams' overdose because he would punk him in front of people, punch him in the chest knowing he had severe asthma, and sent him into a spiraling depression. He tried self-medicating away with Xanax. Rocky gave Yams' mother a measly $60K after all Yams did to stylize him. I grew up with all these. Rocky tried Relli and recklessly almost ASAP Ills. I don't give a. Rocky needs to go to jail and pay Relli with whatever money he makes. This case is missing another count of attempted Elijah, felony, illegal possession of a firearm, fraudulent inducement, coercion, intentional infliction of emotional distress, reckless endangerment, and everything possible.
All this drama. One person commented, "I'm genuinely just shocked that Aaliyah is speaking. She said sounds very coherent. And her story sounds believable. That doesn't mean it's true. Interesting nonetheless, and honestly, they might have a point." Another social media user dropped this little nugget of wisdom: "This is more than likely the truth 9 times out of 10. The reason why guys fall out is over a female. It always has to do with a female. The beef between Drake and Future is because of a female. That's where it all started, and Kendrick finished it. If you know, you know." And doesn't that just make you think this whole situation has everyone on the edge of their seats wondering what's going to happen next? Will ASAP Rocky beat these charges and come home to his family, or is Rihanna really going to end up raising those babies alone for the next 24 years? And was she really at the center of this beef between ASAP and REI all along? The drama just keeps unfolding, and honestly, I'm living for every single detail. Don't forget to share your thoughts about all this mess in the comments below. And make sure to click here to watch another absolutely scandalous video that you won't want to miss. And that's all the tea for today, but trust me, I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for any new developments in this absolutely wild situation. Stay tuned, because something tells me this story is far from over.